JG Wentworth 8776 now.
Yes.
I want to. No, so no. Have you heard of that?
Wait, what is that one?
You haven't?
Wait, you have to sing it again. You have to sing it again.
I want a structured settlement. Something.
Wait, I don't know that one actually. I don't think I do.
JG Wentworth 8776 now.
I know that one.
Okay.
Yeah, that one I know.
Hello, welcome to Fangirl Feels. My name's Tanya.
My name's Olivia.
And every week we meet to give an emotional analysis of all the popular books, movies, TV shows, etc. that we're into.
All the pop culture. Pop? All the pop.
All the pop.
Every pop.
Even not popular, just things we're into at that moment.
We're hipster. We liked it before it was cool. No.
Yes.
That's not true.
Not many
Not for
things,
me.
I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, not many things. Not much. I'm the opposite of hipster. I like everything that's mainstream, personally.
Yeah.
And I don't like to feel left
it.
out. Yeah, exactly.
The FOMO, it's real, still have it.
Yeah, I literally just do things because I'm like, I want to know. Everyone likes it. I want to know what it is. I want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
Be my friend.
I was thinking about this. So, like, when we were growing up, we didn't have that insight into the generation before us, into what was cool. Like, there wasn't social media until we were in middle school, high school, right? So then I'm realizing now that kids these days do have insight into like what was cool during our generation, and that's why I think like they know how we dressed in the 90s and the early 2000s versus us. Like, we kind of fumbled our way through the 2000s, which is fine. It makes, but I just think that's funny that like they have more insight and like literally can see like what happened versus we couldn't.
Yeah, it is true. Didn't you say it was interesting that like also like on the flip side of that TikTok or like this generation doesn't like understand like general cultural moments, like that someone didn't know who like Michael Jordan was?
Yes. Okay. This is
Yeah.
like the third time I've mentioned Becca, our friend. She just needs to hop on our podcast. Becca, if you're listening, I hope you listen to our podcast. She said to me that, so she works in school at, a university. And she said that someone in one of her friend's classes didn't know who Michael Jordan was. Like, so like the teacher mentioned it and they're like, oh, Michael B. Jordan, the actor.
Oh my God.
They didn't know.
No, that's like not even that long ago. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I know. There's still movies out about him. And like her point being that because of like social media and TikTok building bubbles and like the algorithm just pushing things that are already within like the realm of things you like and are into, you're not being introduced to new things. So these kids aren't being introduced to things outside of like on streaming channels. Streaming, they can just go straight to like the things they want to see versus when we watch TV, we had to get through the news and all those boring shows until we got to the cartoons.
And we all had like this like joint culture around it. Like all of us can like, you play a commercial that aired during that time. All of us can like sing that same commercial, like jingle. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but we just like all collectively.
JG Wentworth 8776 now.
Yes.
I want to. Have you heard of that?
Wait, what is that one?
You haven't?
Wait, you have to sing it again.
I want a structured settlement. Something.
Wait, I don't know that one actually. I don't think I do.
JG Wentworth 8776 now.
I know that one.
Okay.
Yeah, that one I know. And then like SpongeBob was just like a collective culture moment.
Yes.
It was like our like Bible. We all can quote it.
It's yes.
Yeah.
No, wait, that's such a good point that like, you know, like 90s kids, like people were annoyed by that, but it's because we had collective personalities versus now you can have distinct personality, or like Gen Z, I feel like has distinct personalities. I don't know if there's like we kind of have like a meme culture for like what, or like a stereotypes of like what Gen Z is, but like at least for 90s kids, like we all watched the same shows.
We did. Yeah.
That was all we had access to. So yeah, SpongeBob, Rugrats.
Oh yeah. Like Hey Arnold. I was just talking about Hey Arnold with my sister the other day. Like, yeah, we all watch these things. Doug. Did you watch Cat Dog?
Duh.
That was the weirdest show.
Why was it so bad? But it was so good.
It was weird, but it was good. Yeah. I remember my parents were like, they didn't tell us to not watch it, but I remember they were just like, something about this is off. Like, we don't know what.
Is this okay to let Olivia watch?
Yeah, we're like, we want to tell you you're not allowed, but we don't know why. We don't have a clear reason.
Did your parents let you watch Ren and Stimpy?
I mean, we didn't watch it that often, so they didn't say no. Yeah, it wasn't a yes or no. We barely watched it. I knew of it, but I didn't watch it too often. No.
Okay. So it's
Yeah.
just like, they're not into it, so it's fine. We don't
No.
even have the discussion. My parents didn't let me watch it because I think because I had two older siblings, they saw it and I think like the butt jokes were weird to them. So like we're just not.
We're just not. My parents they actually for a period of time told us we weren't allowed to watch Rugrats because Angelica was mean. And they were like, you're not allowed to watch Rugrats.
What?
Because they were like afraid we would become Angelica.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. That didn't last very long.
Yeah, right.
It was like a month. And then we're like back to watching Rugrats. Okay.
She redeems herself, okay? She was just a kid.
Yeah, she was literally like, how old are they? They're babies. Literally.
Literally baby.
Literally babies. Yeah, it wasn't that serious. It didn't last too long.
Oh my gosh.
Good times.
This is a good way to bring up the discussion of our full episode that you can listen to starting next week. We're getting the timing down. I might edit this out depending on when it comes out, when I upload it.
It's okay.
But so
Okay.
as I mentioned last episode, we are splitting up our full episodes into our segments and then our full topic discussion. So we have our segments Fangirl Finds and Fandom Feedback. Where we talk about feedback that we get from you all, and Fangirl Finds is we just talk about things that we're into at that moment and that we've seen or consumed. And so we're breaking it out because our episodes were just too long. And so you get 2 episodes now. 2. It's a twofer.
We are really growing out here. Yeah, 2 episodes. So if you just want to like hear us talk about the things we like, listen to Fangirl Finds on Fridays. I think we're saying Fridays, right? Fangirl Fridays.
Fangirl Fridays, yes. Yeah, alliteration. We can't stop ourselves.
Yes, everything is going to be FF.
Welcome to
I spit everywhere. And then yes, on Mondays will be the main episode. We're really growing out here.
And the reason we do this is because Olivia and I don't want to edit during the week. So like Fridays, like this intro part is so easy to edit, so we'll upload then. But yeah, then like on the weekends, we're not editing. Monday, we'll just edit.
I mean, I edit Monday morning to post Monday afternoon.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
I started
It works. It works. We get it done. It's fine.
But I forgot to say why I mentioned that. Our full episode today is going to be about Barbie. So check that out when it drops. That's why I'm dressed a little ridiculously. I'm wearing 3 different shades of pink.
You look adorable.
My makeup, thank you.
Meanwhile, I'm like huddled in a corner, not dressed cute.
Olivia's currently helping her sister move, so that's why.
So we're very different vibes right now. You look adorable. Truly a Barbie.
Let's start with Fangirl Finds. What have you been into recently, Olivia?
I finally actually started Fourth Wing. Like I said, I'm not lying this time. I actually am watching Fourth Wing. I'm on chapter like 7. And I like it. I'm enjoying it. I know what's going on. I know it's an enemies to lovers story. I know it's going to be kind of toxic. I'm not mad about it. I just accept it as like what it is. It's not a great book. It's not like a well-written book, but I'm having fun. And the narrator is the same narrator of the Lunar Chronicles, the like voice actress. And I like her a lot. She's just a really good Rebecca Soler. Yeah, she's just a really good voice actress. So, and I liked her in the Lunar Chronicles a lot. So it's weird to hear her like say like "fuck" in this book, but because this book is like a new adult, whereas Lunar Chronicles was not new adult. But yeah, so that makes it better when you like the voice actress, like the narrator. So that's been fun.
It makes a difference. I'm gonna check it out because of that reason now. Yeah.
I think you'll like it. Like I'm enjoying it. I think I'm gonna end it and I'm gonna have similar feelings about it to ACOTAR. I have a feeling. Like that's maybe I'll like it better maybe, I don't know. I like ACOTAR, but I just know I know I'll have probably like it'll be in the same vein, I think, which is fine.
Have you seen critiques on like YouTube and TikTok of like critiquing book talk, because the things
Yeah.
that become popular aren't necessarily like good writing, and but like everyone's purchasing this book and it's getting a lot of notoriety, but like the act like I guess subjective, actually good writing books that are written well aren't getting the same hype. Have you seen this?
I have, yes. And I have mixed feelings about this because I think at the end of the day, books should be fun. And we've talked about this. Like at the end of the day, books should be fun, right? It doesn't need to be the most like prestigious, like entity of writing for it to be like worth reading, right? Like books are meant to be a form of entertainment. At least they can be. Some people might not see books that way. I see books that way, that they're a form of entertainment. So like yes, I mean ultimately yeah, like writing still matters. Like so I think both can be true at the same time. It doesn't need to be the most well-written book for it to be valid, but there's an element of like I think book talk sometimes is just like it has smut, so it's good, and you're like, "That's stupid. That's not true." And in fact, I hate it like, very much.
I'm in agreement because like at the end of the day it's art, right? It's a form of art, and art is subjective. And if it gets you into back into reading, which ACOTAR did, I think that served a purpose, you know, for a goal that I had to get back into reading. And then from there I can move on to books that actually fit like what I enjoy and what I consider good writing. So I think it's okay. Like, yeah, I agree that like sometimes it's funny what becomes popular, but then like from there people can choose what genres and books they want to read after that.
Agreed. Yeah, and each book has its place. Yeah, like this book, a book can satisfy this need, whereas another book is like actually well written. It's like I don't know. Yeah, that's just different. Yeah, they're forms of art, and different art has different needs, like different places.
Yeah.
But yeah, the
If
fact that people are like, "This is the best book of all time." I mean, I haven't seen that necessarily, but I'm like, "Eh, is it a fun book? Yeah, I think so." That's where I'll leave it for now. We'll see
yeah.
how I feel when I finish.
And it's like if you liked it, let's to each their own. And it's like, you know, was it fun? Yeah. Was it the best book ever written? Who knows, you know? But
Yeah. And I also just like when people like attribute morality to these like types of books too. I'm sure you've seen some of this like discussion where like I saw someone talk about like this book specifically. There's valid criticism, I want to say, where it just like it seems like the main lead guy is like ambiguously brown. And there is an element of like people that do this, like authors that do this, where like I think like Rand and Azrael and Cassian were like ambiguously brown, you know, to like people of color, but they're not really people of color because it's just like they could be white people with tan skin. I think there is like validity in that argument, absolutely. But there's this element of like people take it too far. They're like, oh, if you like this book, you're like racist or something, you know?
oh,
And you're like, this is
yeah.
like it's not that serious.
Oh my
Not
God,
that serious.
cancel culture is pervasive. It just, yeah,
Yeah,
it's so problematic, I think, the way that people are so quick to add like a phobic if you like something, or you know, you didn't write it,
yeah,
you just consumed it and then you can critique it. I think that's what's important. You can have like
yeah,
critical analysis
absolutely.
afterwards, but reading it, consuming it isn't bad inherently.
No, it's not. And like, yeah, there's valid criticisms to this thing of like we make people ambiguously brown. I think totally valid criticism that we like don't attribute actual race to people because I don't know why, unsure. But then like, yeah, to like add morality, like, oh, if you enjoyed this book, then like you have a problem. Like, no, I could also just enjoy the book, like regardless. I don't understand. Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
It's like
Those
it's not
discussions.
that serious. Yeah.
Right.
It's okay about dragons. Like it's okay. Or about fairies. Like everything's fine.
People had critiques of like Succession, which was wild. They would say that because they depicted misogynist in the show, the characters, people were correlated that to the writers being misogynist. And no, they weren't. They just depicted it very realistically, that in this world of rich white men, conservatives, they probably are going to be misogynists. And people are like, the creators are, don't like women. And I'm like, what is this from point A to point B? How'd you get here?
Yeah, people don't understand how to like disassociate storytelling from, yeah, like what's the word, like validating, or like, yeah, it's like, no, you're just telling a story. It doesn't mean that the person believes that. It's just a story. Like everyone go touch grass. Everyone's okay.
You're right. Yeah.
Everyone's okay. Go outside, please.
And if you as the consumer if your takeaway is that seems problematic, like that seems wrong, then the creator did a good job. They portrayed that in a way that you thought was wrong. Good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, agreed. Silly. So silly. But that's the one way of saying I'm reading Fourth Wing.
There we go.
That's what I'm doing right now.
I was gonna say on the flip side of like that is I've been consuming Exo Kitty, the show, which is from the same writer, part of the series of To All the Boys I've Loved Before. And we actually want to talk about this with our friends at the Rough Draft Pod, so stay tuned for that episode. But it was such a cute, I thought it was so cute, and it wasn't trying to be anything that it wasn't, right? Like, it's like, we're not out here to win an Emmy, and that's okay. It was cheesy, but you expected that, and it was cute.
I agree. I've enjoyed it. I haven't finished it yet. I think I have like 2 episodes left, but I've enjoyed it. It's cute. I like, sometimes you just need a show like that, and it satisfied its purpose. Yeah, it wasn't trying to be like subversive or like extremely, yeah, it just exists, and I like it. Yeah.
You need that sometimes.
Yeah, you do. Absolutely. Great show.
So I'm excited to talk about that. And then also I finished the 4 episodes of Black Mirror. I wonder if they're doing a two drop season, but of the episodes dropped, I really liked it. I think that there is discussion of whether the season was good or not, because they broke away. I don't want to give anything away, but I think you'll figure this out if you're online. But like, they broke away from what they traditionally do of having the topic rooted in reality. This season, it's not. Like, they bring in fantastical elements. So that is a move in a different direction, which is fine. I liked it because it reminded me of like horror movies I watched. But that was the biggest critique that I've heard from people who saw this season and was expecting something different.
Interesting. I don't love Black Mirror personally, so I haven't watched it, but I didn't know that they did that. So interesting. Very interesting.
Let me know. It's like one of my favorite shows. We should talk about it also.
I know. I've watched like a few episodes. I've watched like the ones people have told me to watch, but I have not like gone through it and watched every episode, if that makes sense.
This breaks my heart. No.
I know. I just don't like things that tell me that things suck. I don't know. I think it goes back to like my contemporary ick. I don't like anything that's like too close to home necessarily.
Oh, that's fair. So maybe you'll like the season actually, because some of
Maybe
the aspects aren't related to reality. So maybe you'll like it.
Yeah, maybe that's fair. I do like. I mean, I think that's why I like fantasy, because I'm like, I don't want to live in. I don't want this. Like, I don't want anything close to me. I don't want anything I can associate with necessarily. I live in this world. I don't need to deal with it again.
I agree. Like, anything related to a pandemic right now, I'm like, I can't consume this. Please stop it. Like, we started Sweet Tooth, and I do like that show, but I had to stop. Like, I watched season 1, got halfway through season 2, and I was like, this is like hidden too close to reality right now. I can't do it.
Yeah, I don't like that. Like, Exo Kitty is like fun because it's just like a silly coming of age, like romantic show, which is fun. So that's like, I can handle that. But anything serious and contemporary, yeah, don't know if I love that.
Makes sense.
I hated like, what's that movie that like Jennifer Lawrence did with like Leonardo DiCaprio, the one that was like about the world ending? Hated that movie.
Don't look up. Oh, you hated it?
Hated it. Absolutely hated it. I've never been more angry at something in my life. I was like, this is the worst thing to ever be created.
No.
Hated it. I know people liked it, but it was like too on the nose for me. I was like, this is so obvious. I hate this. Why did I watch this? I want to leave.
Yeah, I took it as like, yeah, I was just like, this is not a serious, this is comedy. That's what I took it as.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, yeah, good actors, but yeah, as like it did hit too close to home, especially at that moment. It came out during like when I think there were still lockdowns.
It was, yeah, and I was just like, this is not what I needed to watch right now. I'm good, and it ends obviously terribly. Like I don't like it. I don't like it. 0 out of 10.
0 out of 10.
0 out of 10. Dislike.
So yeah, we're gonna talk about probably both. That'd be fun if we talk about Black Mirror and Exo Kitty in the same episode. Hilarious.
The duality of man.
Yes.
The duality of man. Have you seen Santa Monica? On Santa Monica Pier, there's this famous like these two houses that are right next to each other. One that's like a Barbie pink, and one that's like an emo black.
No.
Okay, that's like the point of this. That's that discussion. Like Black Mirror is the emo black. Exo Kitty is the Barbie pink.
Wow. Okay, that's amazing.
I'll find the picture for you.
I love that so much.
It is really funny.
So the next segment of our episode is called Fandom Feedback, where we talk about all the feedback we've gotten from people who listen to our podcast or watch our YouTube videos or our social media content. So we only have a couple of pieces of feedback. So we posted our first Fangirl Fridays last Friday. And we got one person, my friend, who said that we asked for feedback saying, what do you think? And she said, love the ChatGPT discussion and I'm very excited for a Spider-Verse episode. So we talked about how when we're on LinkedIn, sometimes people don't talk about the negative aspects of ChatGPT and then instead talk about only the positives. But I think it should be noted that you should talk about both. There are some more moral issues if you are specifically using like AI art. But did you watch Into the Spider-Verse yet, Olivia? Or Across the Spider-Verse?
I have not yet. I have not. Just because I have been traveling and haven't had the chance to go to the theater. But it is on my list when I head back home. I will be watching it. Yes.
All right. So we'll do it then. Yeah.
Yeah. TBD.
That's okay. Take your time. It's great. And I'm sure it'll still be in theaters. So
yeah, I'm excited. I want to watch it.
The other piece of feedback is from the same person. Thank you so much. I'm just saying your name, Lauren. You have been listening to our episodes and we really appreciate it. And her feedback was, yo, I love the book episodes, more book episodes. This one was super fun. And this was in a comment about our episode about, it was our booktuber episode where we answered booktuber recommendation tags and gave over 40 recommendations for books. So check that episode out.
I like that one. That was one of our better ones, I think. That was fun. We should do more of those for sure. Yeah.
That was fun. And that was fun to create the reels and the TikToks for. That was a fun episode.
It was good. It was like our fictional boyfriend, March Madness.
Yes.
That was fun too. Good one.
Yeah, can't we do that again?
Next year, 2024.
2024. Then you saw a message that we got on Instagram.
Oh, yeah. Should I read that one?
Mm-hmm.
So the Prince Kai fan pod, I think we're going to collab. So just found your podcast and also host a book club podcast. So wanted to reach out and say, hey, Prince Kai fan pod. Yes, we would love to collab or love to, I mean, she's not saying to collab. She's just saying wants to say, hey, but I would love to collab. That would be fun. That's what I'm saying.
This is our way of saying we want to collab.
Yeah, and publicly for everyone to know. So stay tuned. Prince Kai fan club pod. Yeah, check them out. Super fun.
We are Prince Kai fans, so that works out.
I am. He has the same birthday as me, apparently, April 7th.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like 300 years in the future or whatever the Lunar Chronicles takes place, but soulmate.
Oh my gosh. What a dream.
It is a dream. It is. Well, thanks for listening to this episode of Fangirl Fridays, where we, share all the things that we're watching, reading, listening, all the things, and fandom feedback, where we shout out you guys that are listening to us. Please like, follow, subscribe. We're across all of the platforms. We're on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're Fangirl Feels Pod across all those social media platforms. We are Fangirl Feels on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, which I assume you know if you're listening to this. Welcome. But we'll be back next week with another episode. Like I said, we have 2 episodes a week now. which like is amazing. We're doing so good. So we'll be back in your feed next week. But until then, bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.